What is up, folks? Welcome back to another live stream repair. Got some interesting stuff here today. We're going to start off with Jonathan's HomePod. This is one that we've actually had in before. I think it was a few months ago. They sent it in to us for no power. It worked fine. They said it worked fine for a bit for them, and then eventually it just gave up and started blinking volume buttons. So, not exactly anything related to anything we did or necessarily something we could have reasonably prevented, but I was happy to work something out with them, get it back here, and get this new issue for them all fixed up. It's quite rare to have a HomePod with like no power, for example, end up with another issue after we work on it, like blinkies. The blinkies especially. Usually we can catch ones that have these issues with enough testing. But there we go. There it is. It's blinking. So let's get their name up on the screen. And then it's going to be hopefully a pretty easy day here. So we are going to take a look at one of Nair sent in 3 HomePods. Frankly, I'm not actually sure exactly what they wanted. But they ended up sending in 3 HomePods. 2 of them have issues, 1 works fine. I just need to get some clarification from them exactly what they wanted, but from the sounds of it, they just wanted a software fix and like a trade for they wanted to change the colors of one of them. I'm not too sure, but we'll let them know. Alright, they've been messaged. Jonathan has been messaged. Let's attempt a software restore on Jonathan here. Stefan, welcome. Jonathan, welcome. Alright. And, oh yes, Stefan. I got a new mat. We're gonna see how this holds up to the heat instead of taking chunks of my old mat and sitting it under the board. I don't imagine, I'm not expecting this to last very long, but we'll see. We'll see what it does for us. Let's get our adapter connected to Jonathan's pod here. My adapter is seems to be on its last legs here. Do I have another? Oh, all of my screws are out. I'm sure I've got some on the floor floating around here somewhere. Of course I do. Uh-oh. just use this one for that. There we go. I don't wanna. Okay. It just gets white and a bit stretchier, and after a few minutes it goes back to normal. Okay, so let's plug in our USB cable. Let's pull up a terminal. And with everything plugged in and it already upside down, let's finally plug in some power and run our commands. See what it gives us here. We're gonna pwn it, we're gonna reset it, and we're gonna attempt our iDevice restore. Let's go. We're past the NAND, like the waiting for NAND stage, so it looks like it's gonna work here. Man, it's gonna be extra silly if I was frankly, I almost prefer it to have been a hardware issue, so that way I know for sure what caused it and I know how to fix it and prevent it. But the fact that it's taking just a software restore leaves me to believe that perhaps it was just a software glitch, which is really unfortunate that it happened like only a few weeks or a month or two after they got the hardware fixes from us. But that just, it is what it is sometimes. At least we have a way to restore these. But in any case, I'd still prefer if it was a hardware issue so we knew what to go for and to fix and prevent this from happening again. Software issues, you're just kind of left at the demise of the developers. Well, shucks. It's taking a software restore without a problem, it seems. So let's go ahead and do a bit of multitasking here. Avner's HomePod that we're going to be looking at first of the three has the same issue, so we have to wait until this is done. This could take, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe. But I'm just going to put that down. And let's reball some logic boards, yeah? I got my solder wick in yesterday, so we can do a couple of those if we wanna. I've got more solder paste coming in. I'm almost out of solder paste, but I've got like 2 or 3 more uses out of that jar, and then it's done. Can I check the suspected hardware issue? I can't without, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do here is actually the exact same thing that that sometimes causes the same issue. We don't know if it's a software or a hardware issue that originally caused it. Usually, if it's a hardware issue, it wouldn't let us restore it like it's doing now. Pretty much, it's really, really rare for it to take a restore and it still have a hardware issue. So the fact that it's restoring now means that it was almost certainly just a software issue that caused its issues this time around. But if it was a hardware issue, it wouldn't let us restore, and it would throw any number of different errors. The most common one being what we're going to do here on this logic board. The storage chip on it has a grid of solder balls on there connecting the chip to the board. and the chip is also glued to the board with some black silicones infill stuff. And the problem that I think keeps happening with these is the infill expands at a different rate than the chip, and it can force the chip to bend and bow and put extra stress on the soldered balls. And over time that can lead to cracking and cold and corroded solder joints, and thus blinking volume buttons failures. But if that were the case, we should have seen it throw an error during the software restore, and it's at 45% complete right now. So it's looking pretty good on that one. But what we're going to do is we're going to attempt the same repair, or the same repair that we've been talking about here on this one for the hardware. We're going to rip this storage chip off and redo the solder balls on it. See if we can't get ourselves a working logic board for someone else's repair if they end up needing one. So anyways, let's get this, I want my heat down to 375. We don't want to kill our chips here. And I generally don't like to just willy-nilly do this unless it absolutely needs it, because it's a fairly intensive repair. It's a fairly risky repair. We're putting a lot of heat into this board with a lot of other sensitive components nearby that we very well may kill trying to just fix the solder for this storage chip. So it's kind of a last resort thing, and by far not something, unlike a lot of the other hardware maintenance that we do to these HomePods, it's not something that we want to just do on every HomePod unless it proves that it needs it. For example, you've got your CPU right next to the storage chip, and what I've found quite often is the heat that it takes to get this storage chip off often affects the solder on the CPU, and you can end up causing more problems than you end up fixing. So let's go ahead. Let's give this a shot here. I'm going to start by just warming up the whole board until I can almost not touch the bottom of the board from underneath. And it's about there. So now we can focus straight on our main storage chip here. It's going to take about 40 to 60 seconds before we'll want to start trying to pry it up. We don't want to rip any pads. And then I'm just going to wedge my tweezer into the corner of the chip. Try to wiggle my way under there. There we go. Got it off. And I didn't rip any pads. And it's very obvious why this one failed. If we take a look at our storage chip, Let me fix this camera. Jeez. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing here. So if we look at our storage chip here, this pad and this pad are noticeably duller and flatter than all the other ones. That's what happened. Those ones basically cracked and corroded and ate themselves away over time. So, let's get that all replaced. The software restore is at like 99% done. We're going to find out in a second here if Jonathan is back to life. I'm going to put it through its torture tests over the weekend. Make sure that it isn't an underlying hardware issue that did cause this, because anything's possible. Restore finished. Here we go. While that's going, let's get our stuff here prepped. First thing is all that infill that holds the chip down. We need to clean all that off so it fits in our stencil. Francisco, welcome back. Finish the capacitor cube. We'll try to do some more productive stuff here. The capacitor cube is for, we'll save that. I need me some logic boards, so we're gonna make ourselves. There you go. We're gonna make ourselves a few logic boards. All right, will that fit? Yes, it will. Okay, before we go any more on this one, let's move Jonathan off to the side and see if Avner's HomePod will take a restore. Excuse me, I hate sniffling, but yeah, what can you do? You can blow your nose out, but I'm just gonna need to do it again in a minute. It's actually bad for you. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor of humans, a doctor of HomePods. Alright, so here is Avner's HomePod that has the blinkies. I already tested all three of his, so I knew which one to grab to do this here. But let's get this off. It feels almost like someone tried taking this off already. Almost, but not all the way. So that's not ideal. Okay, let's get one more screw in there. I'm just going to use my regular driver here for these. And, oh, here we are. Let's see what we've got here. The pwn, the reset, the restore. Oh, Stefan, I saw that picture of your phone in the Discord server. It's fixable, but I won't give it a warranty. And by fixable, I mean, oh no. Device failed to enter restore mode. So that basically means we have probably like a CPU issue on the logic board. In any case, this is a hardware issue certainly with the logic board itself, not anything else inside of the HomePod. But we'll give it one more try here. All right. Oh, Avner has made it here with us. Very nice. Yeah, it's just not going into restore mode. Device failed to enter restore mode. Okay. So, unfortunately, that means this one is not going to have the easy way. Avner, what we'll do, I'll let you know, because it's, you got 3 of them here. I wasn't sure exactly what you wanted. So you've got a black one here that seems to work fine, a white one that has no power, and this black one here with the blinkies that seems to be a hardware issue. Essentially, any one of these 3 would cost $50 to $60 to fix. That includes a hardware warranty, and if you wanted to trade one of them in, we can give you a free repair on one of the other ones. But basically, Basically, what we can do is I'll give you all of your options in writing over email and let you decide what you want to do, unless you just want us to do the hardware repairs on all three of them. If you want to get all three HomePods working, back and working again. Yeah, this one, no power, 4 watts from the wall, so that's likely going to be a dead diode on the amplifier. This one seems to just work. Yeah, I got your email, but it's unfortunately not very clear what you want. Two are broken and one is for a white shell swap. Yeah, I'm just a little confused. Because the only thing that I got from you was I have a Gen 1 with the blinkies. You want to send it in. You were trying to trade it for a white one before it died. So yeah, it's just a little confusing what exactly you wanted here.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Yeah, that one's working. Two are broken and one is for a white shell swap. I mean, yeah, no worries, Evner. Here, so I'll go ahead and shoot you an email here really quick. And okay, I see that one too. So right. And the one thing that I'm confused about is, are you trying to get back 2 white HomePods into Space Gray, or are you trying to get back 3 Space Grays? Trying to get back 3 white. Okay. We can... Let's see. Okay. So... which means you want to give up your Space Gray parts and make them white. You've got 2 of them here. Okay. Alright. Let me wrap this email up here for you. see. Let's see. That's that one. Death farts. And colors. Let's see. And then you were, excuse me, you were at, let's see, in there, so that's, and then almost done here. That plus that plus that plus that. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let's see. So then it would be that. All right, calculator sucks. I'm just gonna do it in my head. Okay. All right. Avner, I have shot you an email with a proper estimate for what you've got and how we would, how much that would look like. Of course, there I go, just completely goofing that up. Let's get this put back up here, and let's finish the NAND reball on this one really quick. And need to put some heat back into this so our flux moves around nicely. Oh, hold on, I'll be right back. Wife is in the driveway, I gotta help her bring stuff in. Okay. Alright. Let's finish this. And then, it looks like Evnair wants us to go ahead with getting all of those fixed up, so we'll do that right next here. Okay, first I'm going to put a little bit of leaded solder on the chip here just to make it easier to wick all this old stuff off. Same with the board here. Oh, looks like one of the pads did come off the board, so this is unfortunately a no fix. Yep, right there. It just popped right off. It's the same one every single time, which leads me to believe it's not something maybe that I'm doing. It's maybe more of a design flaw or something in here. Maybe that's the pad that gets stressed the most by that. Well, that's nice. It's going in the parts pile like Man, it really sucks when you have a nice smoking gun like those nasty BGA pads on that storage chip, and then it's a no fix because the pad got ripped off the board. Maybe one day we'll try to run a freaking trace wire for it, but that's currently a little bit above me for everything going on that board and what it would involve. But anyways, let's go ahead and fix one of Evnair's HomePods here at least. Let's get the one with no power here knocked out. Excuse me. Oh man. No, it's most definitely not a ground pad. I've already looked that pad up before, and it is quite a not redundant. The only pad of its type on there. Unfortunately, we need that pad for it to work. And I mean, it makes sense if it's the pad that's most often getting ripped off these boards and causing blinking volume buttons issues. I mean, I've got probably 20 or 30 logic boards with that exact same pad ripped off. I've only ripped a different pad on these boards once or twice. So I'm starting to think that like I was talking about with that stress earlier, it's probably already ripped before we even go to take the chip off, and then we're just the nail in the coffin at that point. But we've got a familiar no power issue for this one at least. Looks like we've got a little bit of a crack in the top here. So when we get to that part, when we're prying this up, we want to be real careful. We don't want to make that any worse. I don't want to have to replace it. Is that Alex? What is up, Alex? Why, welcome back. If I want to send Dink Pods and a HomePod, I gotta message him and get his PO box. Oh, okay. So he'll never get my message. Oh, Donka stream. Donka. The one that is currently white, do I have a nicer shelf for it? The power cord is stained and the white housing has a blemish. Oh yeah, so it does. I think I've got some nicer ones. We'll have to see what we can put together here when we're all done. Did I eat today? Oh man, I did not. I've been snacking throughout the day at least. Dang, the weather just does not get along well with you in your area, does it, Stefan? That one was really stuck in there. Wait till 6 to see the eclipse, and Mother Nature said, rip. Wow. I found out about the eclipse yesterday, and then I still forgot about it. Alright, here we go. Let's see how this mat holds up for us. We'll start with our favorite filters. Alright, so we're starting with our 4 filters over here on the back of the amp. These tend to go bad and cause death farts and all sorts of bass issues. So these are just one of those bits that we replace inside of every HomePod that we take apart to prevent any common reason for it to come back to us here. Not any issue, I should say, but death farts are a particularly common one. Alright. And now let's knock out that dead diode. That's what's failed and caused our power issues. And of course we've got a 48K date code on there as well. Here's a new diode. Let's get some flux on there. These old diodes only fail due to a quality control issue with the diodes themselves, so replacing it with a new one will prevent it from failing again. The mat looks completely unfazed. Oh, it is, it has bubbled up a little bit. That's kind of what I was trying to avoid. Did I get those dies for my pods? I did. I'm just waiting for them now. I had to get them shipped. Hopefully I'll feel better by this weekend and we can get those colored up for him. It'll either be Discord or I might actually do it on YouTube. Like, if the only time I end up having this weekend, I have to... if I can get the kid to sleep, and I've got the time for it, then we'll do a YouTube stream for it. But if we can't get that kid to sleep, then it would probably end up being a Discord thing in the living room. But I'd really like to do like a YouTube stream and bring everything in here and do it. I don't know if the camera will survive near boiling water right underneath it for an hour or two. Before we put this stuff in, because this is all tied to the mesh. Someone's been in here. Someone's already tried taking this off. Yeah, this one would clean up if it weren't for that physical damage. There's nothing you can really do. But, I keep everything in case somebody wants something, in case what I've got's better than what something else has, or someone else has. I cut some of them up and sample different things to try when I want to try different ways to color them, or whatever. Different ways to clean them without messing up a nice one, Speaking of nice ones, I think that is a really nice one. We've got just a little bit of a mess right there, but it is physically perfect. So that will clean up really easy for us before we ship it back to them. You bought them used. The plot thickens. In any case, it doesn't look like they got very far trying to get that off, and it wouldn't have helped them with the issue this one had anyways. Make sure there's nothing funny on the shell that would keep this from working right. Still need my T5 here. Okay. You got a nice mesh on there. Like I said, I'll give this a good wipe down, make it look as good as we can before we send it back to them. But physically speaking, that is a good mesh. Got another fine looking mesh here for Evnair's next one.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble connecting.
Very nice. Oh, another question, Evnair. Would you like us to update and reset these, or do you want us to leave their software exactly as they are? I'm no doctor, but you made me say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. Update and reset. Heck yeah. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, sorry for all the questions and the back and forth, Evnair. I normally make people fill out that Google form that I linked you. And it goes over a lot of that. Not everything. We still would have had to figure out what you wanted to do for them all. All the white HomePods you found have been over $500. Yeah, no thanks for sure. I mean, I could probably clean up a mesh and send you one for, if you want to pay me for shipping and a small tip. Huh. Picking up a second gen would be cheaper, yeah, I bet. We love our first gens, man. You're gonna have to pry them from our cold dead hands and leave some cold hard cash behind if you want them. Here we go. Y'all know the drill. Let's get some new filters on here first. Alright, and we did spot the same diode that failed in their other HomePod and caused no power, so we'll get that replaced before it needs it. Let's see what I've got for number 3. Here we go. Another one in. That needs to get a little deeper clean before I use that. Ooh, here's a good one. It's just got a couple of spots that'll clean up real easy.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble
All right. Yeah, and of course we're gonna give these really good scrub downs to make them look as fresh as we can get a speaker of this age to get. Let's go ahead and get most of this one knocked out, and then we're going to head out of here. So this one is going to need a little more than the others. It's going to need a new logic board. Unfortunately, the particular issue that this logic board is having is not an issue that we can easily fix here and now. It's even more difficult than that storage chip you saw us try to revolve on that other logic board at the beginning of the stream. But I do have logic boards to put into this. Make it work again. This is how to do it in there. Oh, I'm curious. Do you are these the only 3 that you have? Do you have more? What are your plans for these ones? Are you gonna stick them all in the same room and have like a stereo pair up front and a third one behind you? You just gonna throw each one in a different room around the house? Oh, and I keep forgetting, of course. They're not just we're not just rectifying factory faults. We're making it sound better than they did from the factory with these new subwoofer gaskets. I'm slick with my hand. We don't really talk about it. You don't really notice us do it unless you know what to look for. But the old foam subwoofer gaskets they don't create a perfect seal, and they can break down over time. And this gives it a slightly cleaner, tighter, better, longer lasting bass response. And especially if you've got 3 of them here that we're doing the work on, that should be a noticeable difference. Alright, let's put this board to the side. It wasn't going into restore mode, that's right. Rest. Rest. I have more things to do when we're done here. I'm like a week behind on USB adapter orders. It's awful. And I can only print so much so fast at a time on my ender. And I'm like a day behind on emails. Oh, I don't want to look at my text messages. True, true, true. At least it's the weekend, so we'll have a good few days to rest up here. Ooh, except I don't know if I'll be able to rest. My JCID programmer should be showing up tomorrow. Hopefully. I'll just go lay down with my kid while Kira makes dinner. I think we're having some lemon chicken tonight and couscous. Ooh, I love couscous. Might watch the new episode of Severance. You know what's frustrating is like this is the second time I've been sick in like less than a month. I mean, it's just kind of annoying at this point. Like being sick doesn't. Like I can pull through stuff, but like man, is it annoying when it just like I had maybe like a week or two where I felt perfectly fine, and this is totally different than what I had last time too. Right, here we go. Some new filters are in order. Is Severance good? I'm enjoying it. I do not watch TV shows very often. Very, very, very rarely do I. I'm almost always watching stuff on YouTube. But Severance sucked me in somehow. It's pretty good. I really like it. Everyone I talk to about it really enjoys it too. Everything it's got an excellent set design and cinematography. It's got an excellent soundtrack. Excellent plot. Great actors. My only complaint is that they don't just put the whole thing out at once so I can binge it, I guess. It's basically about it follows along a couple of employees that work at a company where you sever yourself, and what that basically does is separate your work from your personal life, and as soon as you enter the building and hit the right floor, your consciousness flips to your work consciousness, and they don't have an awareness of each other or any memories of each other, only themselves. That's about as much as I can really explain about it without spoiling it. I'm not great at explaining TV shows. Four for the living room, one in each corner. Oh, that's the way to do it, man. That's how you rock it. We have a 26K dated diode here, so these don't fail. These don't cause power issues. We need not worry about that. Let's get this back together in a white shell, and let's get out of here. Let me see if I've got... Awesome. I do. Alright, so I've got this one. We'll go ahead and just put that into there, save ourselves a little extra effort there. Oh, never mind, I found out why. We'll use a different one. Yeah, this one looks good. Just a couple of spots on there that we need to clean up before we send it back to them. Okay. Zoom, what is up? No, I haven't been able to fix any of the minis. Unfortunately. Gosh, maybe we can try that this weekend. Maybe we can wrap that up. At least get one of them working again. At the moment, the minis have pretty much pushed me to my limit. It's not that I don't know how to fix most of them at this point. It's just the parts that usually need to be replaced are too small and too densely packed together for me to see on with my naked eye or with my microscope camera. It's not a real microscope. Yeah, I blame it part skill issue, part tool issue. The minis got me sick. Plausible theory. Oh, did I? Oh no, this was floating around in there. That's right. Oh, all of you that watched yesterday's stream, you failed. You failed one of them. I didn't tighten the power supply screws in it. And it was like the second to last one or the last one on yesterday's stream. Didn't tighten the power supply or the power supply screws. This morning I went to run my usual last sanity checks, and one of those sanity checks is to pick it up and shake it, you know, to make sure there's nothing loose in there. Everything's tightened down. I didn't forget anything. And lo and behold, the power supply screws started rattling around, and I was like, gotcha. The iPhone links are getting insane. Yeah, they're getting kind of weird. I mean, I'm okay with anything that's a departure from the normal at this point. And not just another boring slab with nothing significantly changed. Let's see here. Get ourselves a working logic board in there. Someday, I'll figure out how to fix the hardware issues that affect ones like Evnair's original board there. The last good iPhone, in my opinion, was the 6S and the 6S Plus, and I'll give you my reasoning. First and foremost, headphone jack. Second and foremost, physical home button, not the capacitive ones that rely on software crap that don't work well on newer iPhones like the 7. Next one, 3D Touch. Oh, I miss my 3D Touch so much. I will always prefer a hardware function or a hardware feature in order to input a desired, or in order to influence a desired input or action, as opposed to this, it's trying to figure out what I'm trying to do, the long press and hold stuff, like they just, like all that fun. You had so much more with 3D Touch, and now it's all gone, and you only have a fraction of what you could do with it. And then of course the aspect ratio of the screen, it's perfect. It's for most YouTube content. It had an excellent camera on it. It was great for me personally. I hate bokeh. I don't like the whole bokeh effect stuff. I want to take more pictures where more of everything is in focus than not. And all phone cameras, as you know, after the iPhone 6 and 6S, phone cameras started to very quickly shift towards macro and bokeh stuff and a really small f-stop to exaggerate those effects. It's the opposite of what I wanted out of most of my photos. So, yeah, 6S was a peak iPhone if you ask me. My first iPhone would have been a 3G. It would have been my dad's old 3G, because he got a 3GS, and I was able to have his old 3G. And then I went to Android from that. I drove with my 3G, of course, but then I went to iPhone. I had an Android, an HTC Incredible, and I loved that phone. Great phone. And then I went to a few other Android phones. The next iPhone that I got from between the 3GS, I had my 3G, and then I went to Android phones for a few years. The next iPhone that I got would have been a 4S. Yeah, it was a 4S. And then I got a 5S, and then a 6 from my mom, and then a 6S. And then I went from the 6S to... I used the 6S until the iPhone 12. No. I used the 6S until my iPhone 11 Pro Max. That's right. And then I went the 11 Pro Max to 12 to 13 to 14. But I never usually got them as soon as they came out. I usually ended up getting them like a month or a few months before the next iPhone came out. Horrible timing as always. But I never ended up buying a new one. I was buying secondhand or broken and fixing myself and get a great deal. The 6S is still a great phone. It's just unfortunate that you can't run modern software on it, so you can't run any updated apps. Doesn't matter for me personally. I do pretty much everything through a web browser. I if I can, assuming that the mobile version is not worse. But anyways, there we go. Of course, we need to factory reset this, update it. We're gonna do that for all of them. But that's it for this stream. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to catch you in the next one.